On this episode of Municipal Matters, we explore the plentiful opportunities to find your recreational path in the town of Barnstable. From miles of hiking trails to a friendly game of pickleball, an afternoon at the playground, or watching your child build skills on the field. Recreation connects the community. Barnstable's commitment to an excellent quality of life provides diverse recreational opportunities at every age. The Recreation Commission, Recreation Division, and at times the Community Preservation Committee team up to listen and identify ways our residents' recreational needs change and provide a course to adapt to the ever-changing needs of the community. In our first segment, we meet James Tenalia at the Centerville Playground to learn about the Recreation Commission and its role in guiding the town's connection with residents.
So on the Recreation Commission, I am the liaison to the CPC committee as well as the vice chair of the Rec Committee. I volunteer because I grew up in Barnstable. I grew up going to the beaches. I grew up playing rec sports, soccer, baseball, whatever have you. Really enjoyed it. I had a great time and I want to see that legacy continue for my kids and hopefully their kids down the line. I saw the notice online. I actually knew my father was on the rec committee for, I believe, about a decade or so. And he was on at the time just before the HYCC was up and running. So he was involved in some pretty major projects. And I saw that as a kid and thought this is a great thing to do and hopped on board as well. So the Recreation Commission is really at its heart an advisory board to the town council, to the town manager, and we're really trying to help them make decisions in matters regarding recreation, whether it be fees for programs or redoing what facilities and fields and how they operate. We have world-class facilities here and there's a lot of decisions to be made on that. And we try to help alleviate some of the pressure from the town as a volunteer board and help them make some of those decisions. So the public can come to all of our meetings. We always have a public comment period. We actually encourage it. We always kind of joke the squeaky wheel gets the grease. If there's an issue in town that we need to know, we ask you to come forward and bring it to us so it can be addressed and fixed properly. So as the liaison, I also attend a separate set of meetings. And for those of you who aren't aware, part of your tax bill in the town goes into the CPA funding or CPC funding, and we help the town make decisions on that funding. So, perfect example, the playground you see behind me, we recently voted to improve and upgrade this facility. So this facility will be going through a major rehab in the coming year or so. Upgraded playgrounds, we upgrade fields, besides recreation, we do housing and historic projects, but I try to help bring priorities from Recreation Commission to the CPC so that we can align the interest between the Recreation Commission and department with the CPC funding. So the Rec Commission likes to do tours of all of our facilities. So we completed one just prior to COVID starting. And what we do is we get in a van and we drive for weeks, during our meetings, and we come to, I believe there's over 100 facilities for recreation. We go and visit them all. From our last visit, this was one of the facilities that we said, hey, this is getting a little tired. It really needs to be upgraded. We found some safety issues, which DPW addressed immediately at other playgrounds. But we also saw some great projects that had been completed, like Lombard Field. Softball field that was old and tired, and CPC stepped in and said, great, let's fund it, and now it's an unbelievable facility. Same thing with pickleball. So pickleball is a great example of we had a shortfall in the town. We didn't have pickleball courts for the public to use, and they made it known to us. So when we went and toured these facilities, the pickleball user groups show up and we listen to them and say, hey, there's 200 of us that want to play pickleball on a regular basis. We say, great, that's a big user group that we can help you guys get facilities that you're going to use and love. And same thing, so when we go out and we love to talk to the user groups. The disc golf group at Burgess Park is an unbelievable group. They take great care of our properties. They do a lot of volunteer work on their own to maintain them and improve them. So we love to see that and hear from those groups and love to help them when we can improve facilities to make their lives more fun with recreation. So Lombard Field was a big one, pickleball was a big one, Judy Scarafile Field in Hyannis was another big project that CPC and Rec was involved in. Overall, my favorite project, that's a tough one. I would probably have to go with Barnstable Hollow. And so for those who aren't familiar, Barnstable Hollow is a field down in Barnstable Village that had an old gravel baseball Little League field that was overgrown and dangerous, and CPC funded the renovation of the field and playground down there. Chris Ganella and his team at the DPW did an amazing job upgrading that field, getting grass, beautiful grass, irrigation, in-house through the town at a great savings rather than going outside. So, you know, I just spoke with a resident the other day, said we had an unbelievable Halloween down there. You know, people get down together. I've seen people in years past have Halloween or Thanksgiving flag football games. They do the 4th of July parade. People can go down there and have a picnic. It's just an absolute wonderful facility. So Barnstable Hollow is probably my favorite project, I would say. Recreation means to me having fun outside for me. Personally, I'm a beach bum. I love to go to the beach. That's where my happy place is. You know, life these days is hectic with kids and work and everything else. And my happy place where I like to go is the beach and just relax. I think it's very important. As you see in our town, we have varying ages in our community. I have a 15-month-old, and you know, people have grandparents who are in their late 90s. It's super important for a vibrant community to have things for all ages, whether it be a walking track around fields for kids so grandparents can safely access fields to watch their grandkids, but also get some exercise. It's important that all groups have the ability to get outside and have some fun. Pickleball is a great example, tends to skew older. It's less aggressive than tennis, so it allows potentially some older people to get some exercise that they need. Some lesser known ones. I would probably say the trail at Ellen McBarron Field is probably a lesser known one. There's a 1/4-mile loop around the fields over Marston's Mills, that nice walk through the woods not a lot of people know about and go see, so that's probably a little hidden gem there. I would tell all residents, get involved. There's an unbelievable amount of work that happens behind the scenes, or in this case in front of the scenes, that a lot of people don't pay attention to. I myself had really not a huge idea of how the town government actually worked until I got into the inner workings of these committees and how things are approved, how budgets work, enterprise accounts. You know, the town of Barnstable has a massive budget, and you know, it's important to understand how it works, how things get approved, how things move through the town. But I would say get involved and learn how these things work, and you can help make improvements where they need to be. I would say get out and visit all of the spots that I've talked about. You know, there's over 100 areas of recreation within the town. Challenge yourself and go visit them. Being on the committee, there was a couple fields I had never been to. I've lived here for 30 plus years, and I hadn't been to all of them. It's wonderful to see all of the facilities out there and everything that it has to offer. Most people don't know what's out there, and so I would say go see them all.
In the fall of 2021, pickleball found a permanent home in Marston's Mills, and these courts are drawing daily crowds. We learn how a few passionate residents work with the town recreation staff, committees, and Department of Public Works to build these best-in-class courts. Ready, set, play. Pickleball in Barnstable.
We're here to connect the community, and this is a perfect example here behind me. It's an opportunity for people to get to know their neighbor, and it's like that for everything. Even if you go into the beach and you're just sitting, relaxing, watching people enjoy the beach, you know, and look around and see people with a smile on their face. And it does connect people, just the beauty of the nature all around us, whether it's hiking a trail, going to the beach, or playing pickleball, or doing yoga. Whatever it is, there's a passion there for it. We need to provide it.
People realize that activity is critical to well-being, really. Recreation is a word for that. And in Barnstable, we have a number of facilities between schools, town-owned properties, rec department properties, beaches, those kinds of things, where those opportunities are available. And through the coordination with town staff, we really need to see what exactly can be improved to bring the town of Barnstable up to its next level. That's where I think community preservation funding could be really instrumental to improving facilities to the 21st century.
So this came from the rec department as a capital improvement plan to redo the tennis courts that were here. So we put together a proposal to do that. And during that process, we started hearing about pickleball. There was an active pickleball group in town that wanted to have pickleball courts here dedicated. Before that point, we were building tennis courts that had pickleball lines on them.
If I were to give you an ideal scenario, it would be to take the 6 courts in West Villages, take 2 courts, convert those into 8 pickleball courts, and have 4 tennis courts right next door to those.
But they weren't the same requirements as pickleball courts. So the proposal came to town council, and there was a large group that came to town council that wanted pickleball courts, and the town council recognized that, and so that proposal included pickleball courts for construction here. And so through the town manager, DPW carried out those orders basically, and put the other design in-house, vetted that through the different groups, and you kind of see what we came up with here.
Well, this project came out of a request from the pickleball group to build a first-class facility in Barnstable. They had been using the previous facility here, which was adapted from tennis, but they really needed a facility that would, meet their needs. So a plan was put together, and the budgets were laid out, and CPC was able to help with its funding to give it really a first-class feel, with the tennis at one end and the pickleball, on the other end. So it really worked out well, and it's a facility we can all be proud of.
You all showed up. I walked through town hall. The room was full. I looked around. You all looked at me, and I knew you were going to end up with a facility. So you made my job really easy in convincing our public that this is a worthwhile investment. I can't say enough about the quality of the rec facilities that we have. Thank you, sir, for bringing that up. Whether it's our HYCC, our baseball field at the high school, our pickleball court. These are top-notch facilities in our country. This is what Barnstable deserves when we make an investment. This is what we'll deliver to you in the future.
Well, the Recreation Commission every year or so does a study on what their needs are. They go out and look at existing facilities, see how the condition of those is, how they're being used in current time, and then they do an evaluation of what's needed out there, and they report back to the manager and make that report public. And from that report, they set out a list of priorities. And this was certainly high on their list. It was much needed, as you can see from the play behind me. It gets a lot of use here. So they key those out, and then they work within the budget process of the town of Barnstable to get the different projects implemented through the capital improvement program, CPC request, any grant funding that's available, and then the project to move forward from that.
Well, I'm a little excited. I think I just heard today that this is probably the largest and best facility in New England, at least. So that's nice to know. And it's nice to go through all the effort and months of planning and months of construction and actually see people using the facility. So,
well, it's really important to look at your area, look in your village, and see if there's a project that you all might be willing to take on and look at. Because this one didn't happen by accident. This had an advocacy group. Much like the Little League, other groups of baseball leagues, they had advocacy, and that was important in making your project stand out from others.
If your recreational activities need a regular dose of nature, Barnstable has hiking and biking trails from every level, expert to beginner, with awe-inspiring vistas, ecology, and open space. Barnstable Land Trust joins us for this segment with brand new hiking guides to get you out on the trails.
My name's Kelly Barber. I am the Director of Land Stewardship with Municipal Land Trust. So we collaborate frequently with the town, and we're always looking for new creative ways to partner. Most frequently, we lead walks and talks on trails, on town trails and Barnstable Land Trust trails. We also partner with the Land Acquisition and Preservation Committee to co-promote and also hold walks on their spring and fall walking weekends. A more recent collaboration that we did was the production of the Barnstable Trail Guide, and we worked with the town making sure that the information was complete as well as accurate, and is available to the public for free, and highlights 34 places that people can go for a walk in Barnstable. We're slowly working on adding new infrastructure to all of our trails to help people navigate them, get more connected with nature on the trails. This year we, with the help of a local grant from a local foundation, we were able to put up 6 kiosks at our most popular trails, including here at our new Lowell Park Woodlands Trail. And that was mainly volunteer driven to get that together. So we had a very skilled volunteer that helped us in designing our kiosk model and then worked on building them for other trails, including here. We just ordered some new signs to put up maps that say "You are here" to help navigate along the trail, as well as directional arrows. So we have that here. We're working on that for Eagle Pond and Little River Sanctuary, so any of our longer trails to help people not get lost. So the first one that comes to mind for me is the Barnstable section of Cape Cod Pathways. It runs from West Barnstable Conservation Area east into Barnstable Village behind the U.S. Coast Guard Heritage Tracer Museum. Not a lot of people seem to know about it, and we're actually working on putting out a trail map for that section of pathways as well to help get people connected and aware of that trail. It's 11 miles in Barnstable. I really like long hikes, so I enjoy that one, but it provides opportunities for people to make it whatever length they want to, because it goes through West Barnstable Conservation Area and into Old Jail Lane Conservation Area. So hopefully this map that we're putting out will help create some awareness for that trail and get people out on the trails. Another one that I think would be good to include is the trail behind our office at the BLT Conservation Center. It's a pretty short walk and leads out to a viewing platform over a pond. And it seems to be popular among young families because it's so short. So that's a good one that people are slowly discovering. And then the third would be Mass Audubon's Great Marsh Sanctuary. That's also in Barnstable Village. I think this time of year is really great for that one. I don't typically see a lot of people there either. And there's a viewing platform there overlooking the Great Marsh. And there's a grove of tupelos, so this time of year is really great because tupelos have a lot of really lovely fall foliage. So I've been with BLT for 2.5 years. I know that even before that time we were getting requests for a trail map for places to go in Barnstable or a guide for all of the places that we protect with trails on them. And with the help of an anonymous donor, we were able to actually fund this project and get it going. So that was really, really exciting because it seemed like a really great community need since we were getting those comments for years. So we're really glad to be able to provide that for the community. So we produced the Barnstable Trail Guide that showcases 34 places that people can go in Barnstable. And we're doing the Cape Cod Pathways map. And then our third map that's funded by this donor will be a map of our Eagle Pond and Little River Sanctuary trails. So our objectives with this as Barnstable Land Trust, a nonprofit, we're working to support our mission and spread the knowledge of our cause and inspire people to protect places like these, protect the trails, protect more places to get outside. And so hopefully with this initiative, more people will get connected to the trail, get connected to our trails to continue to support conservation in the community and hopefully inspire future conservationists. So for now, the Barnstable Trail Guide is available free to the public. It's at local libraries, the Chamber of Commerce, and then it's also available at our office on 6A. So the Barnstable Trail Guide will include a wide map that shows the locations within Barnstable, so then that can help direct you on how to get there. We also include where available parking is, so then you can navigate to the approximate addresses of those and about how many parking spaces might be available. So then that can give you a sense of whether it's going to be a busy location or if it's better for you to arrive earlier in the day to secure a spot. It also gives a little narrative of what to expect when you're walking, as well as the available length of miles of each trail. I mean, I guess my advice is for anybody is just to go out and explore and walk somewhere new. I think that this map of 34 places is kind of a great guide, and it could be a challenge for winter or to visit all the 34 places. That's the challenge that I would suggest for anybody with this new map that we have out.
Recreation connects our community. From toddlers to active agers, there are programs and activities for all fitness levels and abilities. So get out there, Barnstable. Play on a new field, learn to skate, take a hike, discover a new sport. Barnstable Recreation has it all.